we finally got the truck back up and running. My phone's at like 6-7%, so I have no idea how long this is going to be. But found out what it was. So the story behind it is I parked it over there. And what happened was I went over there, shut the truck off, and when I popped the hood to clean out the engine bay, I pulled the battery out. And everybody knows that when you pull out the battery or disconnect it, it resets all electronics. And so what these have is the return line in the fuel system. It took that fuel and pushed it back in the tank. Well, I was at half a tank. And over there, you can't tell on the concrete slab, but it is at sort of a slant. And so all the fuel was sitting in the front of the tank. And so I would sit there and crank it and crank it and crank it. And it was getting everything it needed. Didn't know why it wasn't doing it. So I pulled the intake off and thought it had something to do with that. And it wasn't. So put that back on. And then I had the TPS sensor off. And then the next morning I took the truck after I came up with that theory that it was sitting on the hill and wasn't drawing fuel from the tank. So I had to sit there and rock the truck back and forth by myself and push it up to level ground right here while sliding a trailer tire underneath that wheel. And then, so I got that and then let it idle and it started that loping feature. Motherfucker got cams out! So I'm like, okay, that's all it was. But yeah, glad to have the truck back finally. Well, it's been running for a bit. I just haven't really cared to, it's filthy. Haven't really cared to make a video about it. So, the only things new about it so far is that the other day got two dual 12s with a 580 amp on the back of it. It's pretty good for what it is. I got two 5 1/4 Kenwoods tweeters in the dash right here, because everybody knows that these are only two spots on a Toyota that you can put speakers in. But later on down the road, I'll put some right here, over there, maybe some in the back, doors right here. What I'm gonna do before all that probably is cut out these areas right here, put speakers in there. I got some 8-inch oval cones. I'm not sure if they'll fit in there, but I'm gonna cut these out and then put a wire mesh over it on both sides. So that's what it was. Got both of these for $100. Don't know how I just did. The dude was gonna originally give it to me for 20, but I gave him 100 because we hit them up to see if they actually worked. And he's like, I don't know, I kind of like them, dude. I said, I'll give you 100 for them. He was okay. So that's what happened. Truck is currently almost at 370,000 miles since then. Oil change is at 368. And I don't know if anybody else does this, but with mine, for some reason, it'll burn little to no oil the entire time between oil changes, because I change mine every 3,000. But for some reason, within the last 200 miles, it will swallow the oil. And I don't know why it does it. It just happens. So you gotta catch it before it does it. All right, it's the next day. By the time the phone got done to the point where I could record something, it was too dark anyway. But I wasn't finished. So recently, I got inspired by FCK light bars, and they sent me a 16-piece rock light set. There's 3 in each wheel well, and then 2 on each side on the cab, and then there's 2 under the bat side over there. And I wish I had some better night videos than what I got, but they are pretty good. Don't really know what the plan is for today. Probably gonna wash it, and we'll see. I want to end up getting some content with a couple of my buddies, so I can start actually having people watch these videos, and they're worth to watch when you're actually doing something, instead of the truck being in the same spot for every video that I do. Because I mean, I don't really have, for right now, I don't have a camera or anything that I can mount in the dash or on the dash, whatever, that I can start recording myself going down the road or something. So I think just for right now, go ahead and wash it. I'm going to give y'all a cold start of it. That's how it is. You know, I'm glad I looked at this before I touched my truck with it, because that right there is degreaser, my guy. So yeah, so that's the case. We're just gonna,
Depot on the beat.
well, that's the end of that. Truck's clean. I'm happy right now, and I'm probably getting more into the mood now about, oh, look how shiny that is. More into the mood of making videos now, so hopefully I can take this and go somewhere with it while I enjoy doing what I've been doing. So, there we go.